The Divine Promise. There lived a princess who had magical powers that her voice could reach anywhere in the universe without the use of any source or help. She could touch anything and she could smell flowers or food from anywhere in the universe. She had the power of imagination. Anything that she imagined got real, and any word she said became the reality. Overall, she was bestowed upon by the blessings of imagination, touch, speech, love, beauty, and the power to combat her enemies beyond the azure of the horizons. Her love and beauty could mesmerize anyone. She was known as the Blessed One, the goddess of heavenly powers, love and happiness. In the days of her childhood, she was known for her charms of innocence to everybody around. The time when she stepped in her youth days, her beauty left everybody spellbound, not only to the people living far and near, but the people of the whole world. The spread of the word about her did not stop in the world, but also had reached the heavens above. The God of love heard about her beauty and enchanting love charms, so he decided to visit her sometime. One day, he came down from the heavens and went to see her. The very moment he set his eyes on her, he found his gaze got stuck on her. He fell in love with the fair being and decided to get married with her. Her virtue and the blessings made her the goddess in the world. The God of love was attracted so much towards her that he thought to himself that she was the only one who could be rightfully his wife and bride. He brought her the heavenly gifts as the token of his promise to love her for the entire eternity. The everlasting love bond was commemorated by the gift of immortality. The shackles of death were lifted away from her. Now she could live forever, unlike common human beings who are destined to die eventually. To add more to his eternal promise to her, he presented her with the perpetual youth to remain fresh and young forever for him. Finally, to prove his true love to her, he promised her the entire authority over his kingdom and everything that was within it, the fate of every soul in heavens and on earth, the power over the natural elements, and the power and authority over all the worlds present under his command. After deciding and arranging everything as he promised to her, one day he asked her hand in marriage in the presence of his high-ranked counselors. At first, she was hesitated, as she could see him only through the inside. There was a clear image to her, but was nothing for the earthly eyes. She was given the sight to see his world and to hear him and others from that world. She happened to be covered all around with glitter and sparkle, which was a vivid sign of something divine already. From the day the God of love professed his desire for her, she could see a bright light that had enwrapped her completely. She was overjoyed over her newfound powers, and the gifts that were showered on her with all the abundance of admiration and adoration. The warmth of his love and affection filled her whole existence with ecstasy and romance. The experience of love, the intimacy at that scale, was beyond the imagination or any human love. The exuberance and madness was at its highest peak for her. At the time of his offer to marry him, she opened her heart to him reverently. She wanted to be very sure before making any decision for her life. She presented him 3 conditions in order to accept his matrimony. Firstly, that she would not be a slave to the king, but the rightfully legal wife. Secondly, she would not be one among many, but only wife he would ever have. And thirdly, the one who would marry her will live with her and not there in the heavens, and she would not be left behind on earth to live alone as the wife of him. Although it seemed difficult, but he agreed upon all the 3 conditions. The god of love and the goddess of happiness got married. The bond said, "I solemnly pledge that I, the Lord God of heavens and earth, and the Master to all, take her as my only beloved bride and wife, forever and ever." From that day onwards, he pledged and proclaimed his love for her. Millions of times he came to live with her and to bless her with the joy of love, divine matrimony, and motherhood. Few years later, he enthroned her with the royal manifestations, the robe, royal ring, and the royal stamp. All his people bowed before her, and her authority was proclaimed by all. The divine promise was fulfilled and kept forever and ever and ever, eternally.